You don't get rich by doing certain things. You get rich by doing things in a certain way. Hello, my name's Steve Woodruff, owner and founder of the Woodruff Group. We are in the people development business, and over the last 20 years, we've increased the production and improved the quality of lives of over 14,000 real estate agents by changing the way they approach and conduct their business. As Wallace D. Wattles states in his book, The Science of Getting Rich, you don't get rich by doing certain things, you get rich by doing things in a certain way. We challenge the status quo by questioning how agents are currently being developed and trained. We feel that most agents fail because their approach fails. So if you change their approach, you'll change their level of success. We believe there's a better, different, a certain way to develop and train agents. We'd like to share that with you for your evaluation. The real estate business is very simple. Oh, it's not easy, but it's simple. There are 3 basic disciplines an agent must master. When they do, they don't just survive, they thrive. First is lead generation, creating a steady stream of leads. Second is lead conversion, converting those leads to a solid piece of business. And third is client fulfillment, fulfilling the responsibilities to the client that hired them. When they master these, they don't just survive, they thrive. Our specialty is helping agents master lead conversion. Mastering lead conversion in our world is knowing exactly what to do and when to do it, and exactly what to say and when to say it. We call it being brilliant at the basics. No secret sauce, no silver bullet, no magic, but being brilliant at the basics. Knowing exactly what to do and when to do it, knowing exactly what to say and when to say it. When an agent masters those skill sets, they convert more leads. They grow their business, they grow their self-confidence, they prospect more, they earn more, and they improve their quality of life. So how do we accomplish this? We do it by installing a proprietary operating system. And it's a system, it's not a program. Programs have a beginning and an end. They're like the Flavor of the Month Club. You do one program, you move on to the next program. They're not very long lasting. This isn't a program, this is a system. This system is a collection of the best practices of the top experts in the people development field, along with the top sales consultants and trainers. We've taken those best practices and created a seamless process that's easy to learn, easy to implement. You can benchmark it, coach it, and you can replicate it. The reason we call it an operating system, because it becomes a standard way an agent conducts their business, how they operate. This operating system is built on a universal law of nature. Laws of nature never change. Probably the best known law of nature is the law of gravity. When you jump off a building, you're always going down, you're never going up. So laws of nature never change. The law of nature that this operating system is built on is the law of prosperity. It states that in order for you to prosper, you first must help other people prosper. So the financial success of an agent in this business is equal to the quality and the quantity of service he renders to others. We're really in the service business. So this operating system is not selling, it's serving. It's making certain that that client experiences the highest level of customer service. It's really the soft side of the business. It's not high tech, it's high touch. It's about the human element. It's the interaction between the client and the agent. What makes this so different? There are 4 things. First of all, we shift the paradigm and change the mindset of agents from seeing themselves and conducting themselves as salespeople, selling, closing, possibly pressuring, to being a consultant where they guide, counsel, recommend, and educate people. Rather than focusing on the business and getting the business and their commission check, they focus on the best interests of their client. And their purpose is to help their clients make good decisions that are best for the client. It's a shift in their paradigm. It's a behavior style. It's been said it's not what you sell that makes you different, but more importantly, how you go about selling it. So when you have a different behavior style at the point of contact, you can differentiate yourself in the marketplace. It can actually be your competitive advantage. When agents position themselves in the eyes of the client as a true business partner by delivering sound, expert, solid business advice, they earn their trust and they earn their business. It's all about relationship building. Relationships first, business comes second. Change your approach, you'll change your business. The second thing that makes this operating system quite different is that it has a very specific structured process. This process we call the interview track. It's a step-by-step process that creates a clarity of task for the agent, so they know exactly where they are and what they need to do. It also keeps them in control, not by intimidation, not by manipulation, but having a professional way of guiding sellers through and helping the sellers make good decisions. It's an education process. There are a couple things that make this interview track quite different. Oh, and the reason we call it an interview track, because that first encounter with the client really is a job interview. They're applying for the position to be that advisor, that consultant. The things that make it different, first of all, there are 4 distinct decision points that compartmentalize the entire track. A decision point is where the agent and the client must mutually agree that they want to move forward to the next component of the track. As they move through these decision points and they gain agreement mutually, they create a collaborative relationship, more of a partnership. So it really softens and makes the sale more comfortable. In addition to that, it eliminates the big close at the end. In addition to that, we incorporate the answers to common objections and concerns that people have. When you answer the questions before they even ask them, you create credibility and you build confidence. Since this track is structured and the agent knows where they are on the track, if they get off track, it's easy for them to get back on track. And finally, this interview track, it creates a measuring stick for management so they can coach, benchmark their agents. If their agents aren't being successful, they can identify specifically what skill set needs to be improved and help them get better at it. There's nothing wrong with doing something wrong as long as you learn from it. So a structured process, an interview track, a clarity of task, keeping the agent in control, not by manipulation, but having a professional way of guiding their sellers and helping them make good decisions. The third thing that makes this operating system so different, it's very word specific. Knowing what to say and when to say it by using the right words at the right time. Words have consequences. When was the last time we took a step back and analyzed the words we use? Are we using words that connect with people rather than pressure people? Are we using words that engage people rather than sell people? Words create images, images create feelings, and people base their decisions on how they feel. So the words we use are so very, very important. In this operating system, we bring very specific words, the right words, not scripts, but dialogues. Dialogues that match the behavior style of being a consultant. So now they walk the talk and they talk the walk. It becomes seamless. It becomes part of their nature. In this area, we also focus on using the right words to ask the right questions at the right time. 80% of building value and trust is asking the right questions at the right time. Using the right words that in a friendly, caring way get in the heart and the head of the other person. As Covey says, before you can be understood, you first must understand. The other aspect of using the right words is how you showcase your value. Some people call it a value proposition and that you need a presentation. We see it quite differently. We see it as an explanation of the job responsibilities an agent will perform for their client so they experience a successful real estate transaction. Think of it this way. If they can't explain their job, how can they do it and why would anybody hire them? So it's just an orderly list of their job responsibilities. In this area, we take advantage of a concept. It's called the simplicity of 6. Communication experts tell us that if you categorize things in groups of 6, It makes it easier for all parties to grasp, understand, and remember. We've identified 6 key job responsibilities that an agent must perform either for a buyer or a seller. These 6 key job responsibilities is just an orderly list of how they do their job. So when they explain their job in an orderly fashion, not sell it, but explain it, they're showcasing the additional value they bring to the client and a higher level of service over and above their competition. They actually eliminate their competition. Change your words, change your business. And then the 4th component that makes this different is how we install this operating system, how people learn it. There was a German psychologist, his name was Hermann Ebbinghaus. He did a study on human memory. And what he discovered is that the average person forgets 75% of what they were exposed to within the first 24 hours. 30 days later, they only retain 10%, and half of that is misunderstood. So what's the point? We've all gone to seminars. We hear great stuff. We take notes. The day after, we forget half of what we took notes on, and we never use it. Education without application is worse than worthless. So how do we help the agents actually learn this stuff so they can apply it? We do it through a series of space learning, skill building workshops. Space learning. We meet once a week for multiple weeks, so we chunk out the entire process. Skill building. There's an old educator saying, tell me and I'll forget. Show me, I might remember, but if you engage me, I'll learn. So these are engaging skill building sessions. We don't role play, we skill build. They're very unique. And then we practice. We practice the interview track, we practice the words, so we internalize it. It's called immersion coaching. They say an ounce of practice is worth 1,000 words. And then we repeat it. So it's like putting multiple coats of paint on. So we repeat it. And they say repetition is the mother of skill, the father of action, and the architect of accomplishment. So they make it part of their nature. It becomes part of their being. Why do they embrace this? Well, first of all, it's a more comfortable way of approaching their business. Being a consultant, advising, counseling, educating, rather than selling, closing, and pressuring. They have an interview track, a clarity of task, a step-by-step process that creates a confidence level. And they're always in control, not by intimidation, but helping people make good decisions. And then the words, the right words, words that taste good, words that engage and connect rather than sell and pressure. So they embrace this, they learn it, and then they start to apply it. They convert more leads. As they convert their leads, their business grows, their self-confidence grows, and they improve their quality of life. It's all about changing the approach, change your business. If you'd like to learn more, we can give you references of major companies who've taken this operating system and made it part of their culture, the way they operate. And we'll be happy to answer any of your questions. In closing, I'd like to share this story with you. I heard it from the Dean of Self-Help, Earl Nightingale. It's about a preacher driving down a country road. As he's driving, he looks over to the right and he sees the most glorious farm he's ever seen. The way it's laid out, cultivated, manicured, cared for, lush. As he's admiring, the farmer's driving in the opposite direction on his tractor. The preacher flags the farmer down and says, Sir, I've been admiring your farm. It's the most glorious farm I've ever seen. The Lord has really blessed you. The farmer says, well, thank you. And yes, he has, and I'm very grateful. And I wish you had seen the land when he had it all to himself. So what's the point of the story? The point of the story, we've all been given a plot of land, and how we develop it will depend on our success in life. As an owner and broker, your plot of land are your people. We're really in the people business that just happens to sell real estate. And if we help our people grow and prosper, we will, obviously. So it all comes back to that law of prosperity. In order for us to prosper, we first must help other people prosper. It's a matter of developing people. So in closing, I want you to remember that you don't get rich by doing certain things. You get rich by doing things in a certain way. Change your business, by changing your approach and change your words. Thanks for stopping in. Steve Woodruff. I wish you continued success.